Hey folks, Nate Palmatier back here. I'll try to keep this as informative as possible. So I ruptured my Achilles tendon about a week ago. I'm now a week and 3 days in. And can I say it's been a bit of a challenge? Okay, well, it's been a bit of a challenge. So one of the hardest parts of this journey is actually the emotional part. You coming to a place where you don't really know what to do anymore. You can't even get yourself a cup of coffee. It's very difficult to even go to the bathroom. Anything on the floor in your house, you could trip on, slide on. No, normally you could just step over. Now it's just not as easy to step over those things anymore. And it can get frustrating and it can be difficult. And I just want to say to you, this is the hardest part. The first couple weeks is the most difficult part. And why is that? Well, if you're in a non-operative protocol and you've chosen that route, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a few seconds here, why you should choose non-operative. Well, the first couple weeks you can't put any weight on it. But once you get to put weight on it, then you can kind of walk in a functional manner. And then maybe you can grab yourself a cup of coffee and not have to worry about, how do I get across the room? Or you can go grocery shopping and pick up some light groceries and that kind of stuff. So if you've chosen to go non-op, awesome. We're both in the same camp. And why would you go non-operative? Well, if you look at studies, and there's many, they show that non-operative and operative have the same results. Risks in operative is, skin irritation, infection, all those kinds of things. And in the past, non-operative, they said, well, there's a risk of re-rupture. But actually, the risk of re-rupture is just the same in op now as it is in non-operative. But it all depends on how your protocol is laid out. Back in the day, when they had non-operative, they would put you in a cast for 2 months, and your foot would be pointing down, and you wouldn't do anything, and your whole leg would atrophy, and it would become super weak, and you'd end up with like a 13.5% chance comparatively to a 3.5% chance in surgical for re-rupture. Well, now they've completely changed up the protocol. They've completely changed up how they do things. And orthopedic surgeons are seeing that early weight bearing, early range of motion actually causes the tendon to heal faster and stronger. Not just faster, but stronger as well. And they're not actually completely sure why, but they know that the studies now show that those that weight bear early, that mechanical weight bearing, actually provides faster healing. So what's been going on for me? I want to talk a little bit about maybe my emotional state over the last week since my last video up until now. And then I'm going to tell you about my physical state. And then I'm going to tell you about a couple things that I've been doing and just a little bit about my doctors and what they maybe haven't been doing. So let's cover those things. So first off, my emotional state. Well, as you can see, I'm out on the front lawn. And I actually just climbed, that's my house. I just climbed over that hill. Are you noticing anything missing? No crutches. No scooter. Just me and my boot. Some of you might be like, what are you doing? You're crazy. Well, this has contributed to my emotional state. I actually had a friend come over last week to help me finish grout my bathroom floor. I hobbled my way up there on my crutches, and then I got on my knees, and he grouted it, and then I handed sponges and cleaned up the grout and stuff like that. But actually, after that interaction, after the time that Joe was over, I felt like emotionally charged. Like my batteries had run out, and now they had just been recharged. And I felt this almost like, wow, like, you can do this, Nate. Like, this isn't the worst thing that's ever happened. And I know there's so many worse things that could happen in the world. Absolutely. I am not saying this is the worst thing, but when you're in this moment, and if you watching have an Achilles tendon rupture, you're there with me. You know, this is tough. I'm a dad of 10 kids. I have my wife and kids to help me. What if I'm in an apartment by myself? What if, I don't have family to help? That's tough, man. That's really tough. And I'm with you. And I hope that these videos are actually really encouraging for you. And I hope that you can see past this. Now, this is my second, this isn't my first rodeo. This is my second time having my Achilles tendon ruptured. So my left leg, you can see I have the sock on here. I wear compression socks on that leg all the time. And for the past couple of years, I've only worn compression socks on the one leg. So now I guess I'll be wearing compression socks on both legs. And maybe I should have. Anyway. So I've done this before, and I just feel more confidence in this. And so my emotional state was kind of like at the beginning, I talked in the last video. If you guys want to see that, check it out. Just, man, why? Why me? Why here? Why now? I have all these renovations, I have all these plans, and that was day one. But as the week progressed, guys, like it got worse. And people are asking, hey, how you doing? And like, to be perfectly honest, it sucks. Like, it sucks a lot, and I don't really know what to say, but yeah, I'm okay. Like, I'm doing okay. But after Joe came over and helped me with the flooring, there was like this like little like just spark. And I was like, you know what? Like, you can do this. You're fine. This is going to be grueling. And so, yeah, that's kind of my emotional state. My emotional state is better. I'm doing better up here. Now, physically, how am I doing physically? So physically, I'm getting, I have less swelling in this leg than I did in my other leg. And my wife even noticed that right away. And I think a big part of that was right at the beginning when I ruptured it on the soccer field, I pointed my foot down right away, and I made sure to have it in that prone position for the entire time, have it in that plantar flexile position, and just have my foot pointed down the entire time. And I think that really helped, because my other foot, when I ruptured it, I had walked to my van, I got in my van, I got to the hospital, I walked into the hospital. So I think I may have done more damage. And then when the ER doctor took my shoe off, anyway, there was a lot more damage there, and there was a lot more swelling. But my first leg, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how long things were going to be. I didn't know if I was going to be like not walking for a year. I had no idea. So the second time around is a lot easier, I suppose. So physically, it's swelling. The biggest pain right now is heel pain. I get a lot of heel pain. So just really sharp pain in my heel. Not heel like things are healing, but just right in my heel, I get heel pain. And how to alleviate that is I actually take the boot off. So I unstrap the boot like this. And then I take my foot and I pull it out, and I just keep it in that pointed position, and that's it. That's it, guys. The pain goes away. If it doesn't subside, then what I do is I actually I'll take my sock, I'll pull my sock right off, and then elevate it. And after a little bit, it will subside. And what that's from is really just swelling of the tendon at the bottom of the heel, and it's just causing that pain. That's all that is. All right, so emotional state is good. My physical state is really good. My foot has been different colors. It's turned like blue. So that's normal. You're gonna see that. You're gonna see blue. I'm getting a lot of blood down in that area now, like the bruising. So the back of my calf, not calf, sorry, the back where the rupture actually happened, on the lower half of my leg here, right here, is like brown, like it's dark. And then my foot down in here has blood in it, and my foot on this side has blood in it. I'm not going to show you those pictures because that's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, so those are normal things to notice. One thing I would say, like if you are in a cast and you can't get out of a boot to move, just wiggle your toes a lot. Just doing this. That's all. Every maybe half hour, wiggle your toes, get some motion going on in there. If you can, grab your toes and just bend them a little bit. Don't move your foot to neutral. Don't move it up this way. Don't move your foot up this way, but just moving your toes, getting some circulation in there is really good. If you're in a boot, make sure to get some compression socks. You can pick some off Amazon. I'll throw some links in the description below for different socks that you can pick up. Yeah, so, and the last thing is the doctors. So when I first ruptured my Achilles tendon, I was in Niagara Falls, Canada, and I got my ultrasound the next morning, and I saw the orthopedic surgeon that afternoon, and he gave me my protocol, and I was on my way. That was one day that happened. Where I am now is close to London, Ontario, and well, it took 5 days for an ultrasound, where before it took about 12 hours. And the specialist still hasn't called me. So I guess good thing I've been through this before, and I kind of know the protocol and I know what to do. Otherwise, I'd be in the dark and I wouldn't really know. I'd probably do a lot of YouTubing and just like seeing what other people have done and what other protocols, because there's so many protocols out there. And yeah, they've kind of sucked. That's all I have to say about the doctors at this point. They haven't really helped much. I'm not going to chase them down. Like, why? They said they're going to call me back. They haven't. A couple friends of mine are like, oh, call in and like start badgering them. And why? At this point, yeah. Anyway. So that's kind of where we're at, guys. We're at the end of week 1. Things are looking up. I am, so when I'm in the office, I'm on a knee scooter, and if my leg is sore, I'll use crutches. But other than that, I'm walking around just in my boot, putting weight on it. 1 week in, I'm not quite at the end of my 2 week, or I'm coming up to my 2 week end, which will bring me into range of motion exercises. And so you guys will see a little bit of that. The next video, I'm just going to show you guys what I'm using to get around when I'm not walking. And maybe I'll show you just how I am walking around a little bit. This video is going a bit long, so keep your head up. And I hope you guys really, really, really just are emotionally well. Take care of yourself. I really do care for all those viewers that are watching and are going through this. I'm with you, and I get it. This sucks, like a lot. So I'll try to help you guys out. I'll try to cheer you up and just show you where I'm at, and that will maybe help you with your journey as well. If you have any questions below, let me know. Other than that, you guys have a great week. I will see you in the next video on the different pieces of equipment I'm using. Okay, see you later, guys.